So, actually, the year I'm born, Allison Doyle set the record for goals in a season for Ithaca. No more. Ali Runyon continues her historic season, 62 goals now on the season.
It's been great for Ali Runyon, and she'll certainly be missed. It's her final year of eligibility as a fifth-year player. Missed all of last year, so she is able to play in her fifth year here at Ithaca College. And we'll have to spend a sixth year without lacrosse.
Runyon's second point over the day, so she's now tied with Jessica Welch of the 2002 class, fourth all-time, fourth in points in the season.
So Allison Panara wins the draw after the score was pushed to 5-2 after Ali Runyon's goal, her second of the game. Panara passed across to Maeve Cambria behind the net. Cambria turns inside and almost had a lane there, but was forced away by the Stevens defense. Morgan Cadwell up top now. The pass over to Allison Panara. On the perimeter. Here's Bailey Herr. Back to Olivia Oppenheim. Whoa. A big push by a Stevens defender, and that's an easy whistle for the referee. That was Juliana Ricci committing the foul.
Kind of an unnecessary foul there.
Yeah. Allison Panara on the right side now. Goes to Maeve Cambria. Bailey Herr now to Morgan Roscoe. Roscoe now turns, spins, tries to get inside, but was tripped up, stayed on her feet, and passed it off. Now it goes to Allison Panara, who she shoots and was knocked down after she shot, and slow to get up here. Players go over to her. That would be a big loss if Allison Panara is forced out of this game.
Yeah, it looks like she's getting up. It looks like she's all right, but might be holding her back. But that was a big hit there. She dropped to the ground and immediately saw players rushing over to help her.
Trainers almost came out on the field, went back to the bench. Now they're coming out on the field to tend to Allison Panara. He was walking pretty gingerly, I wouldn't call it a limp, but walking slowly off the field.
And they credited Ali Runyon's last goal assist to Panara. So Panara now, in their last 5 games, if you're including this one, 14 goals and 14 assists. So big part of this group.
Incredible stats for Allison Panara, who's only a sophomore. Now a free position shot will be taken by Elizabeth Rice. Rice charges, shoots, and misses the net. And the out-of-bounds ball will be picked up by Juliana Ricci of the Stevens Ducks. Now she's behind the net against Roscoe, and whistle's blown, but it will go back to Ricci behind the net. Now Schnelzer has the ball, the goaltender, and passes all the way to midfield. Picked up by Metzler. Here's Mario Hallbrick. Hallbrick passing to Cami Santor. The pass goes up top to Calbian. Calbian charging inside. Forced away by the defense, and a shot by Metzler is eaten up by Kimberly Brisuto. Another save by Brisuto on the day.
Yeah, Brisuto having a good first half here as the buzzer sounds. She had a good first half, and credit as Elizabeth Sauer too on that last play. The Ducks seemed to have an open lane, and Sauer really took that angle away from them.
So great first half by the Ithaca Bombers. They lead the Stevens Ducks 5-2. So we'll be back right after this, where Brett Mayerson and Christian Monk will tell you all that happened in this first half. Well, you listen to Ithaca Women's Lacrosse here on WICB and the Bombers Radio Network.
You want to give them your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure when you guys are using the phone, hold it like by your mouth. Yeah, that way it comes to. Danny.
It's all.
It's all good. We're trying to see if we can figure out how to get it.
Yeah, go.
In lacrosse, and if you're the Bombers here, you want to build as big a lead as possible because this Ducks team is they score a lot. This is a good scoring team. Both of them good scoring teams, but if you're the Bombers with a 4-goal lead now, you want to keep your foot on the gas pedal.
So now here is the draw. Score is 6-2. Ithaca Bombers now with 29 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second half of play. And the draw is won by Kathleen Calbian of the Stephen Ducks. The pass goes across field between a pair of Ducks defensemen, and now they're about to cross midfield. No really aggression, not really any aggression shown by the Stevens Ducks. Now they cross midfield. And they go back to the defensive zone, and now they go cross midfield. So pretty slow possession here to start things off for the Stevens Ducks after giving up another goal to the Bombers. Kira Bednarski. Now it goes to Cami Santor. Kathleen Calbian now. She cuts right. Tries to get inside, and Olivia Oppenheim goes down. She's slow to get up. Pass goes back out to Kira Bednarski. Play was not stopped. Bednarski, 2 goals today. She's been essentially the Ducks' offense today. Now here's Mariel Halbrich, who we talked about being a real leader on this team. 7 goals, 37 assists on the season coming into this one. Now Kira Bednarski passes across to Mackenzie Metzler, and she scores, cutting the lead to 6-3. So good job cutting inside by Mackenzie Metzler. That's been a problem with the Ducks all day. But Metzler found the lane, gets inside and got a shot, a bounce shot, past Kimberly Pursuto.
Yeah, Metzler's been a good scorer all season. That's goal number 19 for her. She has 2 goals in each of her last 3 games, so she's definitely been hot recently. And great job there. Great placement going bottom right corner, right near the post. Nothing Pursuto can do there.
So back in the draw circle, it's a 3-goal lead now for the Bombers. 27 minutes and 36 seconds to go in this second half. Again, winner of this game hosts the E8 tournament next weekend. So it's a lot of implications here, and Ithaca has ruled the matchup so far. Last 2 times these teams played each other, 14-13 was the final score, and both the Stevens Ducks and Ithaca Bombers have a win in those 2 games. And the first of those 2 went to double overtime. Could be an exciting one we have here today. Now Cami Santor goes to the right, passes to the defenseman. Ball goes across to Victoria Alvarez. She was all region last year. Now they cross midfield. Forced away by Ali Runyon rather. Now the Ducks are in the offensive zone. Calbian now behind the net. The pass goes to Halbrich. Halbrich tries to find a lane from behind, and Calbian missed the pass to her, but it is picked up by Kira Bednarski. Now it goes back to Calbian. To Bednarski now. Inside. Forced out by Molly Long. Bednarski tries to cut, and triple teamed by the Bombers defense. Now Calbian shoots and scores below Kimberly Pursuto. Great shot by Kathleen Calbian. The Bombers defense honed in on Kira Bednarski, and that opened up a lane for Kathleen Calbian.
Yeah, I guess the Bombers didn't learn from the Ducks in that first half. Yeah. We saw almost an identical goal scored by the Bombers earlier. They had a free position shot, and the Ducks came with a triple or a quadruple team, actually. And then just passed it off to Panara, and Panara with an easy goal. I believe it was Panara. But, again, the Ducks here, 2 straight goals now to open up this half after the Bombers scored 1. So, momentum shifting back to the Ducks side, 6-4 game.
So Kathleen Calbian, senior on this team, 28th goal on the season. Been all conference all 3 years of her career so far. So a very, very good player. And was actually named E8 Rookie of the Year in her freshman year. So still kicking in her senior year. One of the leaders on this team in the midfield. And so that's 2 quick goals from the Stevens Ducks that have cut the lead to 2. after the Bombers scored an early goal in this second half. What adjustments do the Bombers need to make in the defensive zone?
Well, they need to get back to the basics, what they were doing in the first half. As they weren't pressing too far up, they would bring someone over for help defense on the weak side, but they never brought over more than 2 defenders. That's what you get when you have good individual defenders on this Bombers team who know how to work together. As they bring someone over on the weak side, and they're able to force the Ducks into tough shots, or not even let the Ducks take shots. That's what we saw in the first half. So they need to get back into that, and the Ducks finally starting to find the rhythm. So they also need to the Bombers need to find themselves on the offensive side too. They've struggled in the past 5 minutes, haven't even won a draw. So they need to get back into draw wins, and Bombers are a little weak in the last 5 minutes, but get back to the basics of what they were doing in the first half.
So 26-23 remaining in this second half. 2 quick goals by the Stevens Ducks have cut the lead to 2. Bombers lead 6-4 in this crucial regular season finale for the Bombers. Bombers come into this one 12th in the nation. Stevens unranked, but still a force in the Empire 8 with a 12-3 record and a 7-0 conference record. So Stevens wins another draw. You just said they need to win draws through the Ithaca Bombers, but they could not win that one. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it will still be Stevens' ball.
Yeah, lacrosse game all about possession, so if you can dominate possession, you have a very good opportunity of winning this game.
Mackenzie Meltzer now with the ball. She has a goal in this game, scored in the second half. Kathleen Calbian, pass to Kira Bednarski. Bednarski scored both goals in the first half for the Stevens Ducks. She's at the point now. Pass it off to Laura Roberts. Ball goes behind the net. And over to Mariel Halbrick. Halbrick from behind the net, challenged by Elizabeth Sauer. And she has to pass it off to Mackenzie Metzler, who's at the point. Inside it goes to Cami Santor. Back out. And now back inside to Juliana Ricci, who scores. So that's 3 straight goals for the Stevens Ducks. And now it's 6-5. Don't look now, but the Ithaca Bombers only have a 1-goal lead over the Stevens Ducks.
Yeah, it looks like we got a game on our hands. I mean, this was a good game before, but now only a 1-goal difference. The Ducks really heating up. Coming off that timeout, you would think the Bombers would come out a little better. But, again, the Ducks win the face-off, they win the draw, and they're able to score. And the Bombers really struggling on defense here as the Ducks keep winning with this draw. You wonder if this defense may be a little tired. The Ducks winning 3 straight draws, I believe it is now. 3 unanswered goals, so interesting to see how the Bombers respond here.
Yeah, 3 unanswered goals. They already burned a timeout to talk about defensive strategy, and did not work out for the Bombers. And Pinar tries to win the draw, but again, it is picked up by the Stevens Ducks. Cami Santor now with the ball on the left side in the offensive zone for the Ducks. 3 straight goals have cut the lead to just 1 for the Ithaca Bombers in this crucial game, regular season finale. So now she goes all the way around the net. This Cami Santor. Pass it off to Kira Bednarski. Now it goes across to Kathleen Calbian. Now it's behind the net. Juliana Ricci, who just scored. Over to Cami Santor. Santor gets pushed by Erin McGee, and the whistle's blown. No need to push. We saw a bad push before by the Stevens Ducks, and Erin McGee matches her there. Inside it goes to Laura Roberts, but the ball's knocked away. It looks like a free position shot will result in the defensive effort by the Bombers. So big opportunity by Laura Roberts here. Straight away, free position shot. Could tie the game here for the Stevens Ducks. 1 for 8 this season on free position shots, and she misses that one. Didn't get anything on it. Might have been deflected by the Bombers. Oh, and Kimberly Pursuto's pass was deflected, so Stevens does retain possession. Reed Simoncini challenging Kathleen Calbian. Pushed her. So now Calbian gets a free possession. And now goes behind to Laura Roberts, who just missed her free position shot. Back up top. Here's Mackenzie Metzler. Over to Kathleen Calbian. Calbian challenged by Simoncini. Goes inside. No shot by Cami Santor, though. Mariel Halbrick to Santor. Santor goes around. And the ball's knocked away by Olivia Oppenheim. Great play by the senior, but she loses the ball. And it's picked up by Kathleen Calbian. Bombers are having trouble exiting their defensive zone.
And the Ducks doing all the little things that you need to do to win a game. All the team performances here.
Now charging inside is Mackenzie Metzler, who scores, but a whistle's blown. She did not drop her stick, so it looks like the goal will be waved off. And Ithaca gets saved by the referee there, but it will be a free position shot for Mackenzie Metzler. Metzler 5 for 17 on the season, 29%. She shoots and scores on the free position shot. Tie game. Stevens Ducks have tied it up at 6 with 23:30 to go here in the second half. It's been all Ducks in the second half.
Yeah, 4 unanswered goals by the Ducks here. And saying, we were talking about this a little bit before, was the Ducks are just doing everything, all the little things that you need to do to win a game. I mean, lacrosse, you need to score to win, and you need to have good defense to win. But you also have to have the little intangibles, like putting in effort. And we're just seeing that from the Ducks and not from the Bombers here. I mean, you talk about the Ducks turn it over, the Bombers with a good cause turnover there. The Ducks immediately pounce on the Bombers, able to get the ball back. We've seen that twice already in that possession. There was a long possession. It was about 5 minutes, and the Bombers took it from the Ducks, and the Ducks would just take it right back. Even on the free position shot, we saw Bombers' good job of deflecting the ball, then the Ducks take it right back and finally rewarded with the score.
So now it's 6-6, and that's not where the Bombers want to be. They finally win a draw here. Allison Pinar picks it up, loses the ball, but she does pick up her own garbage and now pass it off to Reed Simoncini. Over to Molly Long now in the defensive zone. The pass to the right side to Elizabeth Rice, who's getting some playing time today for the Bombers. Only 8 games played this season, but she's in this really important regular season finale. Now Morgan Roscoe behind the net, 23 minutes to go in the second half, tie game at 6. The ball goes to Allie Runyon. Here's essentially their first offensive possession since the start of the second half.
Yeah, they had 1 goal, but that was a quick offensive possession. I believe it was under 2 minutes there. So we'll see if they're going to settle into one of their long offensive possessions that we know they like to do.
Take advantage of when you have it. Now here's Allison Pinara at the point. She turns away and passes through Allie Runyon. Runyon, one of the greatest players in Bombers history, has 204 career goals after her 2 today. Morgan Roscoe charges inside, turns, has a lane, and scores! Morgan Roscoe with a great play, does it herself, and now it's 7-6 Bombers with 22:19 to go in the second half.
Yeah, and that's one of the more impressive goals you'll see. Roscoe with a good spin move. The Ducks defender, I didn't get a chance to see who it was. Did a good job of cutting off the angle, but Roscoe went near post and just bottom, and no way that you can react if you're the Ducks there. Good job by Roscoe, good shot. Schnelzer, nothing she can do there. She was expecting that to go far post, and good score by the Bombers, and they really needed that.
So Morgan Roscoe scoring when it counts. That's her 22nd of the season so far. Team leader in assists, but that time took it herself.
That's her 23rd of the season. She actually has 2 goals here. They credited 1 late to her.
So now a whistle's blown in the draw circle, and we'll do it again. Draws have been an issue for the Bombers, but as you saw, they won a draw finally. It's what you've been asking for, and they score a goal. So that's what they need.
8-6 draw count for Stevens here, but Stevens dominating the draws in the second half.
And now Allie Runyon picks that one up, charging to the offensive zone. Very dangerous offensive player. Goes around the net. Passes to Morgan Roscoe, who just took the game-leading goal. Pass off to Allie Pinara. Pinara cuts left. Almost had a lane. Goes inside to Allie Runyon, who shoots and scores. Allie Runyon with the hat trick at her final regular season game here at Higgins Stadium. 8-6 is your score now with 21:52 remaining in the second half.
Yeah, Runyon making her last game at home here a memorable one. That's a hat trick for Allie Runyon. She's just been killing it this year. I mean, you can't say enough about her. I mean, that's already 63 goals on the season. She broke record today. She's now extending the lead for most goals in the season. She has 63 goals now. That is the record. And she's now in sole possession, 4th all-time for points in a season. So what's been an impressive season for Runyon just keeps getting more impressive.
Yep, climbing up those record books is Allie Runyon in her final regular season game here at Higgins Stadium. Might not be the last, though. If Ithaca holds on to the lead here, they'll be hosting the Empire 8 tournament next weekend. So now in the draw circle is Ali Panara and Kathleen Calbian. And Runyon gets that one too. She's got 2 straight there, picking up the draw. Passes left to Morgan Roscoe. Roscoe charging and hit up high by Madison Anito, the Stevens defenseman. That will be a clear free position shot for Morgan Roscoe. She's on the left side of the net here. Has an opportunity to score her 3rd goal of the game.
Yeah, and this would be huge for the Bombers. That would be 3 unanswered to counter Stevens' 4 unanswered. So that would, again, bring all the possession right back to the Bombers.
It's a game of momentum here at Higgins Stadium, and Roscoe scores right side of the net. Easy goal by Roscoe on the free position shot. 9-6 is the score. Bombers take that momentum right back after Stevens Ducks tie the game with 4 straight goals. So 3 straight goals here for the Ithaca College Bombers, and big lead here at the second half, 21:40 remaining.
Yeah, and I mean, we said this was an important game. We said this was senior game, and how about the seniors showing up? How about Roscoe and Runyon combining for 6 goals and really compelling this team to victory right now? Not called victory yet, excuse me, but 3-goal lead here. Bombers are looking good here. A quick turnaround from the struggles early in the second half.
And that's Morgan Roscoe. She has 2 goals against Stevens coming into this game, and now adds a hat trick to that total against the Ducks. And after that goal, we'll have to take a break, but we'll be right back here on WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. We have our here. And welcome back to Higgins Stadium here, the second half of Ithaca College Women's Lacrosse. 9-6 is your score. Ithaca Bombers lead the Stevens Ducks. And after a turnover there by the Stevens Ducks, Ithaca will have possession. I'm Dan Darty alongside Matthias Wildman, and the winner of this game will host the Empire 8 tournament next weekend. And after 4 straight goals were scored by the Stevens Ducks, Ithaca fired right back with 3 straight goals of their own. So it's been a great game of lacrosse here today at Higgins Stadium. And now Stevens has it in the offensive zone. Kathleen Calbian goes back in front to Mackenzie Metzler. Metzler cuts inside, gets all the way in, but the ball's knocked out of her stick and picked up by Gabby Byrne. Gabby Byrne charging down the left side. She has a goal in this game. She's one of the 7 graduating seniors for the Ithaca Bombers. Pass over to Allison Panara. Panara inside to Roscoe. Roscoe turns. It's a 3-on-2. Roscoe inside. Does not get a shot off, though. Great play by the Stevens Ducks defense, but a whistle's blown. Could be a free position shot here for Roscoe.
Yeah, we're seeing more of what we saw in that first half, and we're seeing more of what we saw for the Ithaca Bombers there, playing much better here.
And now Roscoe straight away with a free position shot. Roscoe has already 3 goals in this game. That's her 4th. Scores on the free position shot. 10-6 is your score. Ithaca has taken over this game after Stevens seemed to have the momentum early in the second half.
Yeah, and we were talking about Roscoe's assists and how impressive she is as a passer coming into this game. I mean, she's got 31 assists on the season, 21 goals to go along with that. Don't get me wrong, 21 goals is very nice, but Roscoe, in the record books for Ithaca in assists, she's only 2 away from being the all-time leader in assists, but Roscoe with 4 goals here, in a game where we've seen a little bit of offensive struggles on both teams, actually. Roscoe's giving them a really nice push.
So 4 goals today for Roscoe. She had 1 goal and 4 assists last game. Now she's doing the scoring herself this time. And in the draw circle is Allison Panara and Kathleen Calbian. Calbian flips it up, and the ball's tipped by Allison Panara, and a foul's called on Panara. It will be Stevens' ball. Calbian charging down the right side. Challenged by Runyon. Gets past Runyon. Goes around the net. Gets inside and fires it away to the point to Mackenzie Metzler. Now to Kira Bednarski. Scored a pair of goals in the first half. Passes off to Laura Roberts, and she's fouled, so it will be a free position opportunity for Laura Roberts. Had one before, but didn't get anything on it. Looked like it got deflected before, but now she gets a second chance here. 1 for 9 on the season for Laura Roberts on these free position opportunities. Roberts waits the whistle, gets it, shoots, and scores above Kimberly Pursuto, and that cuts the lead to 3. Score is 10-6 Ithaca, or 10-7 Ithaca rather, with 19:02 remaining in this second half.
Yeah, that was just a rifle shot, and we're going to see if the Ducks can make another push here. We saw the Bombers at the beginning of the half scored a goal, and then the Ducks answered with 4 unanswered, so the Ducks are going to need another rally here, down 3. 20 minutes ago, it looks like the Bombers are finally starting to get comfortable in the second half, so it's going to be tough for the Ducks, but if how this second half started is any indication, then Ducks are more than capable of coming back.
Absolutely. And now Stevens Ducks and Ithaca Bombers are set. Allison Pinar, Kathleen Calbean in the draw circle. Calbean very tall, 5'9". Towers over Allison Pinar in that draw circle. And the ground ball's fought for and won by Molly Wong. Great play by the junior defenseman. Molly Long, pass to Elizabeth Sauer. That's your defensive core, and they're both juniors, so they'll be back next year.
Yeah,
Molly Long. Go ahead.
Our third defender, Reed Simoncini, a sophomore, so next year definitely looking good for the Bombers in terms of defense as well.
Yep, a lot of goal scorers are the ones that are graduating for the Bombers, so defense will be a strength for Ithaca next year. Now Morgan Roscoe inside tries to do her spin move again, but gets turned away by the Stevens defense. Roscoe behind the net. Passes out in front to Morgan Cadwell. She tosses it over to Allison Panara. Now back to Cadwell. Cadwell flips it off to Panara. Panara stands at 5'4", so Calbean has a 5-inch advantage in that draw circle. And that matters since they flip the ball up in women's lacrosse. Allison Panara now to Morgan Cadwell. Cadwell on the left side, cuts, gets a lane, but the ball's taken out of her stick by Mackenzie Metzler. Great play by the midfielder, who has a couple of goals in this game. Now Schnelzer has the ball, the goalie, and she's running down the right side, challenged by a pair of Ithaca Bombers defense. And a timeout is called. It looks like everyone's dropping their sticks. Players are confused. Referee's trying to sort things out.
Schnelzer trying to give her head coach a heart attack there.
Yeah, took it way out of her net. Charged down the right side of the field, and now it's a timeout. Looks like Stevens called a timeout. There was some confusion, and I guess they were very uncomfortable with Schnelzer getting that far out of the net there.
I don't really blame him. I mean, she was, let's say, a solid 20 yards from her net.
Yeah, she tried to take it herself to midfield, essentially, but she was double-teamed and tried to pass it back to one of her defensemen, and a timeout was called before that happened. So now it's been a half of momentum here. Ithaca scored that first goal to start off the second half, then 4 straight goals for Stevens Ducks, 3 straight goals for the Bombers, and now Stevens just got one right back with the Laura Roberts free position shot. So now what does Ithaca have to do to take back that momentum with this 3-goal lead?
Well, if we've seen anything from this game is that there's been one specific stat that's been important. First half, it was how well you can defend. We saw the Bombers were defending really well, the Ducks not letting them get any shots off. And then when the Ducks were doing well in the first half, they weren't letting Ithaca get any shots off. Second half, it's been all about draws. Mm-hmm. Literally, whichever team has been winning this draw has been dominating this game. Yeah. The Ducks weren't losing draws when they scored 4 unanswered. The Bombers haven't been losing any draws when they scored 4 unanswered. Mm-hmm. So it's whoever's been controlling this draw, and it's been a game all about momentum here. Stevens has the momentum right now, but if Ithaca keeps pressing and they keep doing what they can do, I think Ithaca can take the momentum right back. But Stevens playing really well here, and Stevens with momentum. We're going to see if they can come back here. Only 3 goals down.
Mm-hmm. And now the Bombers and Stevens will take the field, and it will be Stevens' ball in their defensive zone after a pretty stressful play by Stephanie Schnelzer.
Definitely raised the blood pressure a little bit.
Oh, yeah. And Schnelzer has to start this one outside of her net, so she'll be sprinting towards her net. Actually, she has the ball to start this off. So
she's got a couple defensemen behind her, so As long as she can get it off to her defenseman back there, then she can take her time getting back into the net.
And she does pass it off to Regan Littell, her defenseman, and a brisk jog back to the net. The ball goes back to Schnelzer, though, and she passes to her right side. That's back to Regan Littell. Littell challenged by Morgan Roscoe, and goes behind her. Victoria Alvarez now past midfield to Mackenzie Metzler. Metzler on the left side, challenged by Oppenheim. Pass inside to Juliana Ricci, and she goes to the right side, and behind the net, Cami Santer to Mario Hallbrick. And Kathleen Calbian up top now. Calbian to Cami Santor. Santor misplays the pass, but is able to pick it up comfortably. Challenged by Molly Long now. Pass goes back up top to Mackenzie Metzler. And the pass goes around. It goes around the world, behind the net, to Juliana Ricci. Kathleen Calbian up top now. Go ahead.
Ducks in no rush here on their offense.
Calbian now gets it to Kira Bednarski. Has not scored after scoring 2 goals in the first half, and there's a goal there by Mackenzie Metzler, her third of the game, and it was not a very clean one. It rolled in off the stick of Kimberly Pursuto, so still counts. 10-8 is her score. Ithaca Bombers leading by 2 now after 2 straight goals by the Stevens Ducks.
I wasn't really sure that was a goal. I think that hit off Pursuto's net and then kind of just rolled into the corner there, but goal nonetheless, and an important one for the Ducks here, as we talked about before, with the momentum, only down 2 goals.
So Mackenzie Metzler came into this one at 18 goals and 2 goals in each of her last 3 games, and she has a hat trick in this one, so that streak keeps going for her. Only had 2 hat tricks on the season, now that's number 3. Did not score versus Ithaca last year, but he was doing plenty of the scoring here for Stevens Ducks today. And the draw is won by Ithaca, picked up by Aaron McGee. The pass is off to Reed Simoncini, who's got a lot of speed from that defensive zone. She charges ahead and passes it off to Morgan Roscoe. Roscoe on the left side, she's behind the net. Looking for options now. 15:33 to go. We're almost halfway through this second half. 2-goal lead for the Bombers. Winner of this game hosts the Empire 8 tournament next weekend. Morgan Roscoe up top to Morgan Cadwell. Now to Allison Panara. Panara across to Gabby Byrne. Elizabeth Rice now with the ball. Goes behind the net to Maeve Cambria. Cambria over to Morgan Roscoe. Roscoe way outside of any offensive territory. And she dishes it off to Morgan Cadwell. Cadwell with the ball, cuts, gets it to Panara. Panara charges left. Does not get a shot off. Goes back up top to Morgan Cadwell. Cadwell turns and turned away from the offensive crease. Passes it off to Panara. 14:30 to go. Panara gets inside, passes to Roscoe, but the ball is knocked out of her stick and goes out of bounds. So great defensive play there by Stevens Ducks, as it was all Morgan Roscoe and Stephanie Schnelzer. That's all that was left. But a defenseman from behind Morgan Roscoe gets the ball out of her stick.
Yeah, last second defensive effort there by Stevens. Saved a surefire goal from Roscoe. Would have been her 5th.
Absolutely. And Roscoe gets it over to Panara. Panara spins, gets past the defenseman, shoots, and another great defensive play by the Stevens Ducks. They do not let Panara get a clean shot off, and it looked like Cambria was knocked down as she was chasing the out-of-bounds ball. So it will be Cambria's ball easily. Cambria starting from behind the net. Pass it off to Morgan Cadwell. 13:40 to go here in the second half. Both Ithaca Bombers and Stevens Ducks come into this game 12-3, 7-0 in the Empire 8. But Ithaca is ranked 12th in the nation. Pass goes inside to Morgan Roscoe. She goes around the net. And and pass it off to Ali Runyon, or Panara rather.
We're seeing no rush here from this Bombers offense.
Cowell tries to get inside, but turned away by a double team. Now to Panara. She has a lane on the left side. Pass across to Cambria. That's a set play there, but they could not connect on the pass. She had Panara run to the left, and then Cambria cutting across the crease and waiting for the pass, but it was deflected by Juliana Ricci.
It looked like a little pick and roll there.
Yeah. But it's a free position shot now from Allison Panara. Panara shoots and scores. 11-8 is your score here with 13:03 remaining in the second half. 3-goal lead, and that cuts Stevens' momentum down because they had 2 straight goals going into that one.
Yeah, and a huge goal by the Bombers. Not only score-wise, obviously, extends the lead to 3 here, but also momentum-wise here, it's even if the Stevens Ducks are able to recover momentum here, it's just another goal that Stevens has to work through, and the Bombers cutting into their momentum.
Of course, you can't sleep on the Stevens Ducks, though. We saw them score 4 straight goals to start this half off after Ithaca opened up the second half with a goal. So they tied the game up earlier, and now they're down by 3 after Ithaca changed some goals together. And now Panara with Calbian in the center. Whistle's blown, the draw flips up, and the ground ball is sent back to the defensive zone of Ithaca and picked up by Reed Simoncini. As you mentioned, draw controls have really been a key factor in this game, as whoever wins those seems to have the momentum. Now Morgan Cowell on the right side. Just over 12.5 minutes to go here in the second half. Maeve Cambria behind the net. Cambria turns. Passes up top to Ali Panara. Panara goes left. Spins. Now going right. Shoots and saved by Schnelzer. That's a great one. And the first one in a while, it seems.
Yeah, Panara going for a hat trick there.
And the pass goes up to Kathleen Calbian in the midfield. She's challenged by Ali Runyon and gets the pass off to Kira Bednarski. Bednarski has been quiet since scoring 2 goals in the first half. Here's Mariel Hallbrecht behind the net. 37 assists coming into this game and only 7 goals, so she's definitely a playmaker for the Stevens Ducks offense. Kathleen Calbian now. The ball goes around the perimeter. Now to Mariel Hallbrecht. Up top to Bednarski. Bednarski challenged by Reed Simoncini. Behind the net it goes. Cami Santor. Santor to Bednarski. Bednarski tries to cut on Simoncini. Simoncini's having none of that. So Bednarski's forced to pass it away to Hallbrecht behind the net. The pass goes over to Laura Roberts, who can't handle it. And she gets past Mecca Behorter, but is forced to pass it away to Bednarski. Bednarski gets around, Simoncini shoots, and it's above the net. Good opportunity by Bednarski there, but she could not find Twine. So now Stevens starts their possession behind the net. Juliana Ricci. Now all the way over to Roberts, and now Mackenzie Metzler. Metzler has a hat trick in this one. Bednarski tries to cut on Simoncini again. Turned away, past to Calbian. Calbian charging inside, all alone, and scores. 11-9 is your score, 10:36 remaining in the second half. So only a 2-goal deficit now that Stevens has to overcome against Ithaca. Ithaca now, they have to cut momentum down again from the Stevens Ducks.
Yeah, good move by Calbian there. Credit her for that goal. That was a good move on the double team. Able to sneak that one by Pursuto, and again, we got a game, and these Stevens Ducks are not going away. Credit them for their fight. This Bombers team keeps scoring a goal and seems putting it out of reach at 3 or 4 goal advantage, and then this Ducks team just goes on a run and just keeps snatching it back, and looks like we got a timeout here.
Yep, Coach Kerry Moore calling a timeout for the Ithaca Bombers, and big problem in this second half is whenever Stevens or Ithaca, for that matter, when they get their ball in the offensive zone, the defense is struggling to get it out of that defensive zone. It's been a lot of long possessions, long drawn-out possessions leading to goals, for either side. So that's why the draw controls have been so important in the second half.
Yeah, neither of these teams allowing more than 7 goals on the season. Then on the other hand, both these teams averaging about 14 goals scored per game. So we talked about before, it's two very good offensive teams, two very good defensive teams just going up against each other. And we're seeing the result here, and the Bombers up 2.
So coming into this game, the Stevens Ducks are 1-2 against ranked teams. They lost 5-6, a close one, to number 11 Trinity, and they were number 7 at the time. And they won 15-9 against St. John Fisher, who was number 14 at the time, and they also lost 3-12 to the top team in the nation, TCNJ, who was number 2 at the time. So this one is their 4th game against a ranked opponent. The Ithaca Bombers coming into this game ranked 12th in the nation, and Stevens has been playing well against the Bombers so far, and they just have to really not let the Bombers get this one back like they did early in the second half when they scored 4 straight goals.
Yeah, both of these teams, you can point at things in this game and say both of these teams are in good position to win. Of course, Stevens Ducks are playing from behind, so they are going to have to push a little more, down 2 goals. But if you're on the Bomber side, you think the way things have been going, their defense is playing much better. There's a good scoring team, and you've only let them score 9 so far, which is below their season average. And then on the other side, if you're the Ducks, you got to say, you just scored another goal, you have the momentum again, and if you can keep this up, then you have a very good opportunity of at least sending this into overtime.
So both teams lost to St. John Fisher in the Empire 8 tournament last year. Of course, Stevens Ducks lost in the first round, and Ithaca lost in the finals. And this year, these are the 2 top teams in the Empire 8. Now, Ali Pinara almost wins the draw, but it's picked up by Stevens. Cami Santor now starting the offensive possession for the Stevens Ducks, and that's really dangerous for the Bombers. As we've seen, whoever wins the draw tends to score. Kathleen Calbian now up top to Mackenzie Metzler. Metzler around the net to Juliana Ricci. Ricci tries to pass to Cami Santor. It's missed and picked up by Molly Long. That's an unfortunate turnover by the Stevens Ducks there. Now Simon Cheney charging up the right side. A whistle's blown, and it will be Simon Cheney's ball after. The defense was a little rough by Mackenzie Metzler. Simon Cheney now, all alone on the right side. Looking for options, and passes down low to Morgan Roscoe. She's behind the net. Has options. Pass to Ali Pinar, but misses, and it's picked up by Stevens. Now Kira Bednarski gets past midfield. She's matched up with by Reed Simoncini. Gets past her, but no shot. Instead passes off to Hallbrook. The ball goes all the way around. Calbian to Metzler. Metzler turned away by Sauer. Goes back to Calbian up top. Pass goes all the way down low to Santor. Hallbrook behind the net. Now to Ricci. It's been pretty much the same personnel for the Stevens offense this whole game. Kathleen Calbian tries to pass inside. It's knocked away by Sauer, but the ground ball is picked up by Cami Santor. Here's Hallbrook, challenged by Becky Mahorter. Calbian puts a move on Oppenheim, one of the graduating seniors of this Ithaca team. Here's Juliana Ricci trying to get around the net. Pass it off to Metzler, who has a hat trick in this game. Bednarski inside, and a great save by Kimberly Pursuto. Right in front was Mariel Hallbrook, and Kimberly Pursuto shut her down.
Yeah, I don't even know if Pursuto knew what she was doing there. I think she just put her stick up and hope for the best. I mean, that was point-blank range and a great save by Pursuto, and let's see if the Bombers can gain some momentum from here.
Yeah, we can look back on that one as one of the crucial plays in this one if Ithaca holds on to this lead and wins this game, because that would have cut the lead down to 1. Scores 11-9, 8 minutes to go here in the second half. Ithaca leads Stevens. Allie running with the ball. Pass it off to Gabby Byrne. Byrne has a goal in this game. She's one of the graduating seniors, so good game for her. Now Bailey Herr behind the net. Over to Morgan Roscoe. Ithaca definitely in no rush here to force anything on offense. 7.5 minutes to go here in the second half. Here's Maeve Cambria. Cuts inside. turned away by Mackenzie Metzler. Pulling double duty today. Some good defense from her and a hat trick. Gabby Byrne now. Played by Calbian. The pass goes inside to Bailey Hurd, but it's not picked up. But the ground ball is picked up by Ithaca, and that's Maeve Cambria. Passes off to Morgan Roscoe. So Gabby Byrne's only a 5 foot tall, and Calbian, who's matched up with her right now, at 5'9". So that's a pretty big mismatch. Panara. Pass off to Allie Runyon. Runyon goes to the right. Looks inside for a passing lane, but could not find one, so she holds on to the ball. Long possession here, 6.5 minutes to go. So, and the ball is knocked away by Kathleen Calbian off a pass, and Reed Simoncini's there to pick it up, a defenseman. Optimal position there from Reed Simoncini, and Ithaca retains offensive possession. That could have been a big turnover by Calbian.
Yeah, important play by Simoncini there. Not only give them another opportunity to score, but also a long possession here.
There's Bailey Hurd over to Gabby Byrne. Gabby Byrne goes right, cuts inside, and turned away and goes behind the net now. Under 6 minutes remaining here. They've had the ball since there was 8 minutes ago, so we're approaching 2.5 minutes on this possession alone. Gabby Byrne now up top. This is really just what the doctor ordered if you're Ithaca. A very long possession with a 2-goal lead late in this game.
Yeah, exactly what they needed here. Things calm down, have a 2-goal lead, and able to milk this clock.
And now here's Morgan Roscoe from behind the net. Allison Pinar now up top. The clock is approaching 5 minutes to go here in the second half. Panara turns, gets a lane, and closed in on by 3 Ducks, and there will be a whistle and a free position shot for Panara. Or rather, the ball's going to Stevens.
Yeah, I'm surprised there. It looked like that would have been a foul on Stevens. Looks like Panara just got squished between 2 defenders, but apparently refs saw something we didn't.
A little too aggressive there on the offensive play by Panara, running into a defenseman. That could be the call there. The pass goes to Schnelzer. Schnelzer tries to go to the middle of the field. It's not picked up, and that's a bad play by Schnelzer. Now here's Morgan Roscoe all alone in front. And Stevens Ducks does collapse in on defense. So Roscoe has to turn away. But that's just not a good play if you're Stephanie Schnelzer. You have to try to get every possession you can at this point in the game. 4:38 to go, and a timeout is called by Ithaca. Interesting one, because they were ruling the possession in this game. They've had the ball since 8 minutes to go in the second half, and now there's only 4:38 to go. So they've had it for almost 3.5 minutes. So Stevens can use the opportunity to collect itself.
Yeah, I'm surprised that timeout came, actually. I would have expected Ithaca to not call timeout and just stay with the ball here. They have ball. Clock is on their side, up 2 goals here late in the game, and I'm surprised. I'm not really understanding why this timeout was called, to be honest with you. I mean, they just collected the ball again, and Stevens clearly tired from Ithaca having the ball for more than 8 minutes at this point, and not a good pass there we saw by Schnelzer, but good awareness by Ithaca in that midfield to recover the ball, and things are looking good for Ithaca here.
Yeah, very long possession here late in the game. They lead by 2, 11-9, 4:38 to go. This is Ithaca Women's Lacrosse. They're playing the Stevens Ducks in their final regular season game of 2017. And the winner of this game will host the Empire Area Tournament. And if things hold on the way they are, it will be Ithaca hosting the Empire Area Tournament on May 6th and May 7th next weekend. Nazareth and St. John Fisher will join these 2 teams in that bracket. So Stevens has broken their huddle. They're probably thanking Ithaca for giving them an opportunity to collect themselves on defense.
Referees might be thanking them too.
Yeah.
It's been a long game. Referees done a good job here of letting them play on. It's been an aggressive game, but referees, for the most part, letting them play on. Only 1 penalty we saw.
So Celine Cunningham, the coach of the Stevens Ducks, was an All-American player in D1 when she was playing women's lacrosse back in college, a head coach for Columbia for some time, and now she's here with the Stevens Ducks and won 5 E8 championships with the Ducks. It's her 15th season.
A 187-82 record is nothing to joke about.
Oh,
that is impressive
absolutely.
stuff.
On the other side, Carrie Moore, only her second season with the Bombers, but it's been very successful. 26-9 is her record.
Still undefeated in the Empire 8 at 15-0.
So Morgan Roscoe now with the ball as play resumes after the timeout from Ithaca. Roscoe cuts in, almost had a lane there, but the defense closed in on her. Panara finds a cutting Runyon. Runyon shoots, and it's over the net. A rare miss from Allie Runyon.
Yeah, she had full head of steam there. I'm surprised. I saw that going into the top 90, but just off target.
She scores on nearly 58% of her shots coming into this game. That one over the net. Maeve Cambria now behind the net after Ithaca retained possession. Under 4 minutes to go now. This is just terrible, terrible stuff for Stevens, as a long possession for Ithaca is definitely not what they need at this point of the game, down by 2.
Ithaca doing a great job of making sure that they keep possession, whether it be a missed shot or a turnover. Just a great job by Ithaca.
And Maeve Cambria cuts inside and scores. So after nearly 4.5 minutes go by, Ithaca scores as Maeve Cambria gets in and pushed the lead to 3 with 3.5 minutes to go here in the second half.
Only 4th goal for Maeve Cambria this season, and it might be her most important. You talk about it, I mean, it's 3:38 left in this game, and now 3-goal lead, and pressure now on Stevens. We talked about it before. There was about 10 minutes left. There was only a 2-goal lead. We said that if you're Stevens, you don't need to panic here because you still have time. And then Ithaca comes out with like a 7-minute possession.
Felt like forever.
Their second one of the half, actually. And now pressure all on Stevens. Stevens needs to win this draw and score 3 goals here.
So 12-9 is your score. 3:38 to go in the second half. The ball's flipped up by Calbian and Panara, but Panara is able to collect it, and that's huge for the Bombers, as whoever wins the draw scores a goal, it seems, in the second half, no matter how long it takes. The pass goes up to Reed Simoncini, or Gabby Byrne, rather. She charges down the left side of the field. And now the clock passes 3 minutes to go here in this second half, and Ithaca's really taken over late here.
Yeah, late surge here in the second half after Stevens really showed up the Bombers early in the second half and really put the pressure on the Bombers, and Bombers able to respond really well.
And now Gabby Byrne cuts inside. Passes off to Morgan Roscoe. Roscoe now coming from the left side of the net. Chopped at, and there will be a foul called. Morgan Roscoe setting up for a free position shot again.
So if you're Roscoe, do you take the shot and try to make it a 4-goal lead with 2:45 left, or do you just take it out and another long possession?
Well, Morgan Roscoe has been successful in that free position shot opportunity today. She has 2, which added to her 4 goals today. Roscoe charges in, shoots, and it's knocked away by Schnelzer. So big save by Schnelzer, but Ithaca will retain possession after the ball rolls out of bounds.
And again, Ithaca doing everything they need here, doing those small things. Talk about how Stevens was doing that earlier in the game and not letting Ithaca leave their defensive side. Ithaca now doing that, making sure they gain possession and keep it.
Yep. And now Gabby Byrne up top. Pass it off to Morgan Cabell. As we said, no rush for the Bombers. 2 minutes to go here in the second half. Cabell rushes in. Turned away by Juliana Ricci. The pass inside to Panara. Panara all alone and scores. The bounce shot puts this game essentially out of reach. 13-9 is the score. With 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go, Stevens has a lot of work to do if they're going to make this game competitive.
Yeah, I'm not really sure they can right now. The way this Bombers team is playing. Credit Stevens for a very hard-fought game. It might be a little too late here if they can snag one. Only about 2 minutes left.
Yep.
With a 4-goal lead here, 13-9. Great stuff from the seniors in Roscoe and Runyon, but also great job by Panara and what has been just a blitz to end this season. We talk about it going into this game, 13 goals and 13 assists, and then in this game alone, 3 goals and 2 assists. So really picking things up at the end of the season here, which is going to be important in the tournament.
Yep, so 4 of the seniors have scored today. Cadwell, Runyon, Roscoe, and Gabby Byrne, all tallying goals in their final regular season game here at Higgins Stadium. And Stevens Ducks finally win a draw. Long overdue for the Ducks. They have 2 minutes to put up 4 goals to make this game competitive. And if history can repeat itself, the last 2 times these teams have met, the final score has been 14-13, and right now it's 13-9 Ithaca. So maybe, just maybe, if Stevens can tie this game, we'll have a 14-13 final score. The pass inside to Mackenzie Metzler, and she misses the goal. Big opportunity there for Metzler. She got inside, but missed wide, and now it's Ithaca ball.
Yeah, Mahorter, great job sprinting to that baseline. She had a Ducks attacker right there who looked like she was in possession to keep it, but great job by Mahorter there.
That was almost a huge goal for Metzler. She already has 3 today. And the pass, now, Stevens very aggressive in the defensive zone now, or in Ithaca's defensive zone. The pass goes over to Simoncini, and now the outlet pass up to Elizabeth Sauer, who gets it past midfield, and now that's essentially going to kill this game. Ali Panara. Now with a minute to go, she'll just run to the corner and let time run off the clock.
Yeah,
it goes inside.
Panara with an opportunity to score there, but classy, not scoring the goal there, being respectful.
Yep, and now here's Elizabeth Rice. Her 9th game played of the season. In a 16-game season, so now here's Morgan Cadwell. 40 seconds to go. Empire 8 tournament will be hosted here. Elizabeth Rice charges in on May 6th and 7th. The 4 teams, Ithaca, Stevens, Nazareth, and St. John Fisher. St. John Fisher has won the last 5 years, but Ithaca and Stevens, both strong teams, looking to stop that streak. Elizabeth Rice now with 17 seconds to go. Schnelzer challenging. Pass in front to Runyon, and Runyon elects not to score her 4th goal of the game. Passes away in 5 seconds to go, and that will be it. Time has run out. Ithaca has won, and they will host the Empire 8 tournament. They've been dominant at home this season. Carrie Moore continues her dominance against Empire 8 teams, has not lost since she became the Ithaca head coach last year. A perfect 16-0 in the Empire 8 in the regular season. So now we'll head in to the postseason for the Ithaca Bombers. Again, May 6th and May 7th here at Higgins Stadium is where the Empire 8 tournament will be played. And that's just a great performance by the Ithaca Bombers. And they were sweating at times because Stevens did have some momentum at points in this game.
Yeah, Stevens had a good game here. Excuse me. But Ithaca did everything they needed to do to keep the lead and to make sure that they won this game. And credit Stevens again. They did a good job here. Great game. And if this isn't any indication of what we're going to be seeing next weekend for this tournament, then we're in for some good play.
Absolutely. We had the game tied early in the second half at 6. Very scary moment for the Bombers, but they took back momentum and ran with it. 13-9 the final score. And make sure you tune over to ICB turn over to vicradio.org rather. We're on ICB for men's lacrosse, where Ben Carlton and JJ Klein will have the call. And that's one of their final regular season games. So, before we go, a couple of thank yous. First off, our TV and radio operations director, Christopher Wheatley, here at Ithaca College. Our sports director, Adam Brobst, and his assistant, Emma Beltrandi, who was in the studio pushing the buttons, so thank you to her. Our station manager at WICB, Alex Bredekin. Our halftime crew of Brett Marison and Christian Monk. The man to my left, Matthias Wildman. I'm Dan Daugherty. Thank you for listening to WICB and the Bomber Radio Network. The final score again, 13-9 Ithaca. Ithaca ends their season at 13-3 and at the top seed of the Empire 8. Thank you for listening.